Shalom. Before I get into the lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And I just want to get straight into the lesson. All right, this is something that I saw on Twitter. All right, which there's a video clip attached, but I probably won't play that. All right, it says they are planning to collapse the economy and drive America into the worst economic crisis since the 1920s, and they plan to do it, and they plan to blame it all on Trump. And I've been saying this myself, just seeing, how this devil operates. And as we speak, today I believe is the first. This is the first day that Spirit Airlines will no longer be in service, right? It points to a economic collapse. And this is something that the pastor in the Christian church is not going to address. All right, you don't see this being a topic of discussion. All right, you see these Christian pastors, all right, teaching financial gain, all right, financial dominance, how to be successful in Babylon. And this is warnings from the Lord. All right, when you see these kind of judgments, all right, on the countries, all right, this is what the scriptures warn. This is 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And when you look up the word perilous, it's not speaking of something good. All right, we're gonna get this in a blue letter. And Jacob's trouble is upon us. Scriptures speak about how all right, this thing is going to creep up, and all right, it says hard to do, to take, to approach, hard to bear, troublesome, dangerous, harsh, fierce, savage. All right, it's some savage times that we're approaching. And Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, all right, it's going to bring devastation to this world, really. But all right, the Golden Cup, America, is going to feel a lot of the wrath of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. All right, it's going to be rolling blackouts. There's going to be people that are, going to be homeless, which already is a major homeless problem. Okay, it's going to be terror on every side of this place. And Jacob's trouble is said to be, in the scriptures, the worst time known to men. And there's been figuratively some rough times, all right, throughout history. Yet nothing is going to trump what the Lord is going to do. And it's all coincides with James, the 5th chapter, where the rich man is going to weep, which is really speaking of Esau, Edom's judgment, all right, from his global trade stance, where he's been the big man, the boss man, all right, and really the impact of that is going to, all right, be upon all you that have put your trust in this devil, all right, and this is going to be sudden. Now, as it says, perilous times are going to come, all right. Let me see. The time of Jacob's trouble is on the way. It says, Jeremiah 30, in verse 6, it says, ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness, all right? Because that's how much, judgment is going to be upon this earth, you know? They're already getting to the point where these packages from Amazon, are infested, carrying bugs, and what more when I was just watching a video just a couple days ago, where just get the article right here. And it's only gonna get worse, You're gonna go into these places because these people, have some sort of faith and trust on the corporate market. They think that they can't fold. And like I said, we just saw Spirit Airlines, which is essentially soul plane, fall apart. Now, places like Whole Foods, Rouse, Stater Brothers, okay, Albertsons, we're gonna do the same.
Which is really disgusting.
Do you buy packaged food online? Well, here's a warning before your next.
Food sold on Amazon Grocery showed up with unwanted visitors inside. 407 on your side, Stephanie Sierra is here with the story. Stephanie.
Yes, a warning, this is not the best dinner.
This San Francisco woman was just trying to buy brown rice from Amazon Grocery, as you just saw. It was on sale. It seemed like a great deal until she noticed the rice moving.
So look at that little thing moving right there from Amazon. Fantastic.
Amy Chow skipped the grocery store and ordered rice online from Amazon Grocery. 2 bags, around $3 each. Well,
all right, these are the times that the Lord is speaking about, and this is a small fry, compared to what the Lord is about to bring, all right, but we know what's in store for this place. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Now, Jacob, you Israelites, and you that believe, all right, are going to be saved out of this. All right, that have been chosen from the foundation of the earth. Yet, all right, 2/3 of the nation of Israel is going to die in the midst of Jacob's trouble. All right, in the midst of this, all right, economy crash and judgment from the Lord. There'll be no remedy for you.
Great day. I want to talk about the economy. Guys, we warned you when gas was going above $90 a barrel that's where the oil industry lives and dies, right? You guys probably seen that short clip. The oil industry lives and dies between $60 and $90 a barrel. Once you get above $90 a barrel, you're talking about $4 or $5 a gallon. And once you hit $5 a gallon, the entire system breaks. The economy is going to come screeching to a halt. Every parent out there right now that was just living paycheck to paycheck, how do you live paycheck to paycheck when your fuel bill was, say, $600 a month, and now your fuel bill is going to be $1,200 a month? There was no extra money. They didn't have money to put into savings. They didn't have money to go and take a day off work or a vacation. So Americans now have been working, you know, my generation, for pretty much 20 years. And we are at rock bottom. We've worked the last 20 years of our life. And now if our parents did that in the 70s, because in the 70s...
you know, these people are working, you know, a vain life they're living. And really, you know, they saying like the average American only has about $500 saved up, you know. So the collapse of these American homes is close. I believe everything that they're speaking about because this is prophecy. Okay, this is all right. Going to factor in Revelation, the 18th chapter, which really that coincides with the missiles and the judgment of Babylon the Great in America. All right, and the spirit here is really through. You know, there's nothing left for Babylon but judgment. You know, I was just speaking about how you can't, you know, drive down the street. You know, I was driving down the street with my wife, and you know, I was telling her, it's like every time we look to the left or right, it's a fucking tranny, man, walking down the street, man. It's to the point where you don't even know, you know, because she asked me, she's like, is that a woman? And I was like, man, that ain't no fucking woman, but it was a woman, you know. And that's a damn shame that, you know, 9 times out of 10, you think it's a damn man, you know? You know, it's ridiculous. And the Lord is going to step up for the sake of the elect who complain continually. All right.
A man working a 40-hour work week on minimum wage could buy 1.76 ounces of silver. 1.76 ounces. You want to know what a man on 40 hours minimum wage can buy today? 0.06 ounces of gold. That is how much harder we have it than our parents did who grew up in the 70s. Now you mix in the fact that our government has dumbed down our children and our education system for the first time in all of Americans' existence. Our children are dumber than their parents, mentally, cognitively, their ability to think, their ability to have patience, their ability to problem solve. All of that has gone down to shit because our government has dumbed us down. So you're everybody.
Right. So this all, you know, major signs of prophecy, not just a basic sign. You know, this is heavy signs because when you read the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, all right, it speaks about the great tribulation that was unseen since the beginning of the world. All right, the signs in the sun, the moon, all right, the dismay among the nations. Okay, this is heavy, whether you pay attention or not. All right, the Lord's going to do what he's going to do. All right, I pray this lesson was edifying. Shalom.